Hello everyone, today we'll be discussing Real Madrid, one of the greatest clubs in football history. How does Real Madrid manage to stay at the top for so many years? How do they dominate world football with their constant winning culture, economic power and brand value? However, there's a shadow side to this success. Why didn't young players get a chance at Real Madrid in the past? And how did they become stars after leaving? How has this situation changed in recent years? Let's examine it all in detail. 1. Real Madrid's championship streak, an unrivaled club. Real Madrid is one of the most successful clubs in Europe. They've won the UEFA Champions League 14 times. In the last 10 years, they've lifted this trophy 5 times. In La Liga, they've been champions 35 times. Compared to Barcelona and their other rivals, they are the undisputed most successful team in the league. The biggest reason they are favorites in the Champions League every year is Real Madrid's winning culture. While many clubs achieve success in certain periods, Real Madrid has made it a constant. They continued this tradition with leading players like Cristiano Ronaldo, Sergio Ramos, Luka Modric, and Karim Benzema. So how does Real Madrid consistently win? 2. Economic power and financial management. Real Madrid is at the top not only on the football field but also in the financial arena. They are one of the most valuable clubs in the world and generate billions of euros in revenue every year. They've built an incredible economic structure with sponsorship deals, broadcasting revenues, ticket sales, and jersey sales. They earn more than 300 million euros annually through deals with major brands like Adidas and Emirates. Their transfer policies are also part of this economic power. They increase their brand value by transferring big stars. For example, Cristiano Ronaldo's transfer earned the club millions of euros annually. However, there's an interesting detail here. Real Madrid didn't play young players they acquired, but they still made economic gains from these players. 3. Why weren't young players given a chance in the past? Real Madrid used to transfer the world's most talented youngsters every year, but most of them couldn't make it into the team. For example, players like Martin Ødegaard, Brahim Diaz, and Achraf Hakimi were transferred at a young age but couldn't find regular playing time in the senior squad. The reason for this was Real Madrid's focus on short-term success. Instead of being patient and developing young players, they preferred ready-made stars. Youngsters couldn't find playing time because coaches like Carlo Ancelotti and Zidane always favored experienced players. Young players were forced to go to other clubs. 4. Young players who left Real Madrid became stars. Many players who came from Real Madrid's youth academy or joined the team at a young age didn't get enough chances in Madrid but became some of Europe's biggest stars after leaving. Martin Ødegaard went to Arsenal and is now the team's captain. Achraf Hakimi transferred to PSG and is one of the best right-backs in the world. Theo Hernandez made a big breakthrough at Milan and became one of Europe's best left-backs. If these players had stayed at Real Madrid, they might have been sitting on the bench, but they became leading players in the teams they went to. 5. What has changed in the last 2 to 3 years? The situation has changed in recent years. As the players Real Madrid has had in their team for years have aged, they've had to make way for the youth. The team's average age is currently 27.2, and young players are getting more playing time. However, the chances given to young players aren't entirely related to their age. Now, for young players to find a place in Real Madrid's starting 11, they need to have top-level physical development, game intelligence, and tactical understanding. For example, some of the young stars in the current squad are Jude Bellingham, 21 years old, Rodrigo, 24 years old, Vinicius Jr., 24 years old, Eduardo Camavinga, 22 years old. These players find playing time not only with their talent, but also with their top-level physical endurance, game knowledge, and ability to handle pressure. 6. Young players who don't get a chance. Arda Güler and Endrick. However, some young players still don't get enough chances. The reason for this is not just their young age, but also the presence of better and more experienced players in their positions. For example, Arda Güler has to compete with a young but top-level player like Jude Bellingham in midfield. Endrick may be overshadowed by a world-famous star like Mbappe in the forward line. So the main reasons why young players don't get a chance at Real Madrid are: the existing players in the team are already at an elite level. Young players are not yet physically and tactically ready for this level. Real Madrid's seriousness in the championship race doesn't allow time for the development process. There's no room for error due to high pressure and expectations. Conclusion: Real Madrid's success is based on its winning culture, financial power, brand value, and big transfer strategies. While young players weren't given enough chances in the past, this has started to change in recent years. So, do you think this policy is correct? Should Real Madrid give more chances to its young players? Write your comments below. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.